Going back to privileges of the floor, Senator Allen.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I rise here at Senator Anderson's desk not only because he's the most loquacious senator, so I know his microphone works well, but also so I can see the extraordinary group of young people who are up here in the audience from the Weiss School up in Los Angeles. And they're up here, and they're all very excited. They're wearing their yellow shirts. And we're just here to say hello to them today.
Welcome. Welcome to our colorful guests.
This is a class of fourth graders, and they're here from the Weiss School, which is an excellent Jewish day school in my district in Los Angeles, very near the border with Senator Hertzberg. And I spent a magical summer as a camp counselor, my first, right before I started college, as a camp counselor at the school. They're a great group of kids, and we're so honored to have them here at the Capitol today. So welcome, welcome, young people.
Okay. Welcome, welcome. Senator Huff.
Thank you, Madam President. Members, many of you may have noticed somebody working in the room like a Flag Day campaign stop, but you may recognize former Senator John Benoit, a.k.a. John Benoit. Please welcome.
Welcome, Senator Benoit. Always a pleasure to have you. Senator De Leon, at Senator De Leon's desk.
Thank you very much, Madam President. Colleagues, I have a very, very special introduction. Today, we are joined by the members of the Yucatec community, la comunidad yucateca, from my district, and they're here to celebrate El Día del Yucateco, the Day of the Yucatec. Yucatan is a beautiful state in southern Mexico. And the group that joins us today are here to celebrate their vibrant community as well as the wonderful contributions to the state of California. I am presenting them with a resolution to recognize May 29th, 2015 as the Day of the Yucatec, El Día del Yucateco, to celebrate the tradition and the ancestral legacy of the Yucatec people, especially those of indigenous Mayan backgrounds. May 29 is the day of the Yucatec as well in their own state back in Yucatan, Mexico. With us are the president of Casa de la Cultura, Maya, Mr. Marco Antonio Pacheco, as well as 4 migrant women being recognized for their commitment to their community through social work, through entrepreneurship, as well as advocacy. They are Juanita Quintero, Jenny Alicia Guerrero, Reina Pech, as well as Lisette Coyoc Sansores, as well as a few other folks. Edgar Peraza Chan, who is the president of one of the cultural groups, Rosario Chacon, Gabriela Arroyo, Rosa Diaz, and Irma Sansores. Please join me, colleagues, as we recognize again, you know, Mexico is a very, very diverse state. You have folks from the north, folks from the central part, folks up from the south. And oftentimes those in the very south often identify themselves more with Central America because of the various different ethnicities and groups that exist within the Republic of Mexico. Some folks who are here of Mexican extraction are from the northern part, and when you see, you have these images of cowboys and horses, those are folks from the northern part of Mexico. This is as far as south as you can get with the Caribbean, the Gulf of Mexico, the beautiful beaches, and the rich culture and diversity that is the Yucatec community. So with that, colleagues, please join me in recognizing the Yucatec community from the city of Los Angeles.
Welcome, bienvenido. A nice family photo. Senator De Leon.
Reception? Where's that at? Is there going to be food? Okay. One last thing for the Yucatec group that are here today, there will actually be a reception in room 125. So food from the Yucatec region as well as drink will be served, room 125.
Thank you, Senator. I assume that's upon adjournment. Upon adjournment. All right. Back to the daily file. Colleagues, we're going to try to get through a number of items. So let's get started with file item 21. Senator Pan, Mr. Secretary, please read.
Senate Bill 600 by Senator Pan, an act relating to discrimination.
Senator Pan.
Thank you, Madam President and members. I rise to present Senate Bill 600, a measure that will amend the Jesse Unruh Civil Rights Act of 1959 to outlaw discrimination on the basis of citizenship, immigration status, and language. California leads the country in innovation and diversity thanks to our 10 million immigrants who make up about 30% of our state's population, the largest in the U.S. California also leads the country in the diversity of its immigrant status. About 50% of California immigrants are naturalized U.S. citizens, another 26% have some other legal status, another 27% are undocumented. California is also the most linguistically diverse state, with 207 languages spoken by over 40% of Californians. Unfortunately, our California immigrants are some of the most vulnerable to discrimination, hate crimes, unequal access to the most basic daily functions. Among verified cases of discrimination are instances when persons have been denied service or asked to leave establishments because they were conversing with companions or their family in a foreign language. Other examples include day laborers barred from establishments near where they congregate, persons denied entrance to entertainment venues, or denied service when they present a proof of age with a foreign passport of a foreign government-issued identification card, and radio and other business contests that restricts participants and winners to, quote, legal, unquote, residence. While these individual occurrences may seem trivial to some, they all reinforce an awful atmosphere of discrimination and unequal access to services that should not be tolerated for any Californian. There are not many filed court cases challenging discrimination on the basis of citizenship, immigration status, and language because these forms of discrimination are not illegal, and because these discriminatory acts target those who are less likely to understand their rights or less likely to assert their rights out of fear for unforeseen circumstances to themselves or their own family members. SB 600 addresses the ongoing discrimination against our immigrants in California. In doing so, our immigrants who are key to California's success and strength, but who are among our most vulnerable to discrimination, will share the same civil rights protections as all Californians. SB 600 does not have any formal opposition, and I respectfully ask for an aye vote. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator Pan. Is there any debate or discussion on this item? Debate or discussion? Seeing and hearing none, Mr. Secretary, please call the roll.
Allen? Anderson? No. Bates? No. Bell? Aye. Berryhill? No. Block? Aye. Cannella? Aye. De Leon? Aye. Fuller? No. Gaines? Aye. Galgiani? Aye. Glazer? Aye. Hall? Aye. Hancock? Aye. Hernandez? Aye. Hertzberg? Aye. Hill? Aye. Hueso? Aye. Huff? Jackson? Aye. Lara? Aye. Leno? Aye. Leva? Aye. Liu? Aye. McGuire? Aye. Mendoza? Aye. Mitchell? Aye. Monning? Aye. Morlock? No. Morrell? No. Wynn? Aye. Nielsen? Pan? Nielsen, no. Pan, aye. Pavley? Aye. Roth? Aye. Runner? No. Stone? No. Vidak? Aye. Wykowski? Aye. Wolk? Wolk, aye.
Please call the absent members.
Allen? Aye. Huff?
Ayes 30, noes 9. The measure carries. Moving on to file item 22, Senator Wynn. Pass on file. File item 23, pass temporarily. File item 24, Senator Hill. Nodded his, oh, hold on one second. Senator Hill, you wish to take this up? Very good. Mr. Secretary, please read.
Senate Bill 18 by Senator Hill, an act relating to the Public Utilities Commission.
Senator Hill.
Thank you, Madam President. And members, SB 18 requires the California Public Utilities Commission to vote to approve a contract for outside criminal counsel, and requires the contract to go through a 30-day joint legislative budget committee review. The PUC recently hired a criminal defense attorney for $5.2 million without a vote of the commissioners. To put in context how much $5.2 million is, the PUC's gas safety program is about $4.5 million a year, of which 80% was reimbursed by the federal government. The PUC paid for the criminal attorney out of money that would have gone toward hiring legislatively authorized positions, improving information technology, strategic planning, and employee training. The PUC is undermining its ability to fulfill its statutory and constitutional responsibilities by hiring a criminal attorney. For this reason, such a contract should be subject to a vote of the commissioners, and it should receive an expedited review by the legislature. These straightforward means of oversight would incentivize the PUC to be very clear on the purpose and scope of any proposal to spend money on criminal defense. I ask for your aye vote, members.
Debate or discussion on this item? Debate or discussion? Is there any objection to substituting a unanimous roll call? Seeing and hearing none, ayes 39, no 0. The measure passes. File item 25, Senator Pan. Mr. Secretary, please read.
Senate Concurrent Resolution 61 by Senator Pan relative to Slavic Heritage Day.
Senator Pan.
Thank you, Madam President. Members, I rise today to present SCR 61, a resolution that recognizes May 24, 2015 as Slavic Heritage Day. I'm proud that we were able to present people to recognize this in our last session. This resolution encourages all Californians to participate in activities to celebrate and commemorate Slavic Heritage Day and commend Slavic Americans for their notable accomplishments and outstanding service to the state and the nation. With longstanding roots in California date back more than 200 years with establishment of colonies, including Fort Ross in 1812 by Russian settlers, the Slavic community has forged its influence on the state through providing support to settlers, crafts, technologies, and commercial enterprise. The Slavic American community has brought invaluable contributions to California by introducing its rich culture, literature, and alphabet, which traces its origins to the 9th century Bulgaria. And these contributions enhance the diversity and progress as well as the cultural heritage that the state has and will continue to enjoy. I respectfully ask for an aye vote.
Thank you, Senator Pan. Any debate or discussion on this item? Seeing and hearing none, is there any objection to substituting a unanimous roll call? Seeing none, ayes 39, no 0. That resolution is adopted. Moving on to file item 26, Senator Mendoza. Mr. Secretary, please read.
Senate Concurrent Resolution 62 by Senator Mendoza relative to Portugal Day.
Senator Mendoza.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, Madam President. I'm here to present SCR 62, which observes Portugal Day on June 10th of this year, to provide the people of California an opportunity to recognize the achievements, contributions, and history of Portuguese Americans. Today, we have over 350,000 Portuguese Americans that reside in California. This resolution celebrates Portuguese national heritage and acknowledges the contributions Portuguese Americans make here in California. We'll be doing a small floor ceremony in a couple of weeks. Respectfully ask for your aye vote.
Any debate or discussion on this item? Seeing and hearing none, any objection to substituting a unanimous roll call? Seeing and hearing none, ayes 39, no 0. The resolution is adopted. File item 27, Senator Hernandez. Pass on file. File item 28, Senator Runner. Mr. Secretary, please read.
Senate Resolution 27 by Senator Runner relative to Clean Air Month.
Senator Runner.
Thank you, Madam President. I stand today to ask your support for Clean Air Month. According to the American Lung Association, 14 California cities have been identified as the most polluted in the nation. And improving California's air quality is especially important for our most vulnerable residents, infants, older adults, and people with lung diseases, including asthma, cystic fibrosis, and scleroderma, like I have. While I am proud to work with many communities are undertaking opportunities to reduce pollution in their communities, I'd like to note a couple that are in my district. I'd like to applaud the Antelope Valley High School District for its STEM education program and their work in teaching students to build operational electric vehicles. The city of Lancaster, my hometown, has long recognized the importance of local government's role in improving air quality and preserving the environment. In 2010, they launched the Solar Lancaster program, an affordable solar financing program for homeowners, business owners, and nonprofit organizations. The city is also taking steps toward being one of the first in the country to be a net zero city, meaning it would produce as much energy from sustainable sources as it consumes. Lancaster has been designated by the U.S. Department of Energy as a clean city for their leadership in improving air quality, strengthening the local economy, and enhancing public awareness of alternative fuels. Please join me in supporting SR 27, declaring May as Clean Air Month. I'd ask for your aye vote.
Thank you, Senator Runner. Any debate or discussion on this item? Is there any objection to substituting a unanimous roll call? Seeing and hearing none, ayes 38, no 0. The resolution is adopted. Moving on to file item 29, Senator Runner. Mr. Secretary, please read.
Senate Resolution 29 by Senator Runner relative to Cystic Fibrosis Awareness Month.
Senator Runner.
Thank you, Madam President. Another Senate resolution. As we recognize May as Clean Air Month, it seems appropriate to acknowledge that May is also Cystic Fibrosis Awareness Month. CF is the second most common progressive life-threatening genetic disease in the United States, and there is no known cure. Historically considered a childhood disease where few live beyond their teens, in the 1950s, few children with CF lived to attend elementary school. However, thanks to progress in identifying, understanding, and treating the disease, many people diagnosed with cystic fibrosis are living into their 30s and 40s. Currently, more than 75% of people with CF are diagnosed before the age of 2, which has led to an improved quality of life and longevity. By increasing awareness of cystic fibrosis, we can help expedite improvements in therapies, treatments, and ultimately find a cure. I met several young people during my time recovering from my double lung transplant that also had transplants that were CF patients. They were mostly young people. They'd already had 1 or 2 lungs replaced, so it's an important issue. I know a lot of you know people with CF and how debilitating that might be, so I ask your support.
Thank you, Senator Runner. Any debate or discussion on this item? Any debate or discussion? Seeing and hearing none, is there any objection to substituting a unanimous roll call? Seeing none, ayes 38, no 0. The resolution is adopted. File item 30, would you like to take that one up, Senator Runner, or is that a pass on file? Scleroderma month. Do you wish to take that one up? Pass on file. All right, file item 31, pass temporarily. File item 32, Senator Fuller, do you wish to proceed? Mr. Secretary, please read.
Senate Bill 516 by Senator Fuller, an act relating to highways.
Senator Fuller.
Good morning, Madam President and members. This morning I present to you SB 516, which will allow local service authorities for freeways and expressways, also known as SAFEs, to fund a variety of motorist aid infrastructure and services, including but not limited to call boxes. Under existing law, revenues generated by SAFEs through registration fees must be used to support call boxes first, and any leftover funds may be used for other motorist aid services. The problem is call box usage is significantly down. This will allow local SAFEs to maximize use of their resources so they may adapt their services to minimize the impacts of freeway incidents such as breakdowns and accidents on roadway congestion and public safety. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator Fuller. Is there any debate or discussion on this item? Seeing and hearing none, is there any objection to substituting a unanimous roll call? There is objection. Mr. Secretary, please call the roll.
Allen. Aye. Anderson. Aye. Bates. Bell. Aye. Berryhill. Block. Aye. Canella. Aye. De Leon. Aye. Fuller. Aye. Gaines. Aye. Galgiani. Aye. Glazer. Aye. Hall. Aye. Hancock. Aye. Hernandez. Aye. Hertzberg. Aye. Hill. Aye. Hueso. Aye. Huff. Jackson. Aye. Lara. Aye. Leno. Aye. Leva. Aye. Liu. Aye. McGuire. Aye. Mendoza. Aye. Mitchell. Monning. Aye. Morlock. No. Morrell. Aye. Wynn. Nilsson. Aye. Pan. Aye. Pavley. Aye. Roth. Aye. Runner. Aye. Stone. Aye. Vidak. Aye. Wachowski. Aye. Wolk. Wolk, aye.
Call the absent members.
Bates. Berryhill. Huff. Mitchell. Wynn.
Ayes 34, noes 1. The measure passes. Members, we are going to return to file item 23 to allow our presiding officer to take up her items. Senator Jackson, Secretary, please read.
Senate Bill 667 by Senator Jackson, an act relating to disability.
Thank you, Mr. President and colleagues. SB 667 will ensure that the state disability insurance system better serves the needs of employees managing chronic health conditions that require episodic care. We just passed on a unanimous roll call measures that address certain chronic, debilitating, and frequently life-threatening diseases. There are a number of people in our state who are working through these difficult conditions, particularly chronic health conditions. But under current law, if an employee returns from a period of disability leave for more than 2 weeks, they must open a completely new claim if they find themselves unable to work again due to treatment of the same condition. I think about people going through chemotherapy who are off a couple weeks, then come back to work, then have to go off again. They've got to open a completely new file, wait 7 days before they qualify, and this not only creates tremendous stress going through the disease treatment that they're going through, but also the potential of losing time from work, losing pay. The condition just makes it almost superhuman and impossible to address these health conditions. This measure fixes the problem by simply extending the period of time that an employee can reopen a disability insurance claim without having to suffer a new 7 consecutive days of wage loss for a period of from 2 weeks to 60 days. This measure ensures that the state disability insurance system works better for these employees so that they can focus on their health. I know Senator Stone is a co-author of the measure. It has been unopposed and received no votes, and with that, I would ask for your support.
Members, debate or discussion on this item? Debate or discussion? Seeing and hearing none, is there opposition? Is there any objection to utilizing our unanimous roll call? Seeing and hearing none, ayes 38, no 0, the measure passes. Moving members to file item 31. Senator Jackson. Secretary, please read.
Senate Bill 570 by Senator Jackson, an act relating to personal information.
Senator Jackson.
Thank you. So, colleagues, I don't know about you, but I keep getting notices in the mail about the fact that my personal information may have been hacked. I got one just last week from a company that I don't recognize that apparently does business with a company that I do recognize. And in reading the notices, I have to admit I am not only college educated, but I have a law degree. I read these notices and can't quite understand what it is they're telling me or what it is I'm supposed to do about what they're telling me. This measure is a bill that will improve the readability and clarity of data breach notices that are sent to California residents when the security of their personal information has been compromised. Now, existing law requires data breach notifications to be made in the most expedient time possible without unreasonable delay and specifies certain information that has to be included in these notices. The law states that breach notifications have to be written in plain language, but is otherwise silent as to how the information should be presented or organized. Unfortunately, data breach notices are often written in a way that obscures the information they contain, making them ineffective in communicating critical information to affected Californians. The Attorney General's 2014 California Data Breach Report found that data breach notices tend to be written at the college level on average, while Californians on average read at the 8th grade level, some 5th grade level even lower. Now, this isn't about our schools, it's just about what is. And I can tell you that we have to, with the prevalence of these situations, we have to make sure that the language is clearer. So this measure improves just the readability of breach notices by simplifying and actually standardizing how entities present that information to affected Californians. The measure does not impose any new requirements or new additional information, but it simply changes the format to make them more readable, to make them simpler, so that Californians will know that their information has been breached and will have opportunities to address the problem to the extent that there is an opportunity to address the problem. Now, it's really critical that this kind of effort happen and that we go forward with making sure that we have the information we need. In fact, just yesterday, we learned that the Federal Internal Revenue Service suffered a data breach that exposed the tax records of 100,000 people. So the information obviously is quite valuable. Initial reports suggest that organized criminal groups have already used it to file false tax returns, resulting in the payment to these illicit groups of over $50 million of taxpayer money. This is a problem that is becoming epidemic. This measure, though, is a very simple one to just make the information in the notices simpler and more easily readable by Californians. And with that, I would ask for your aye vote.
Members, debate or discussion on this item? Debate or discussion? Seeing and hearing none, Secretary, please call the roll.
Allen? Aye. Anderson? No. Bates? No. Bell? Aye. Berryhill? Block? Aye. Canella? Aye. De Leon? Aye. Fuller? Gaines? Galgiani? Glazer? Aye. Hall? Aye. Hancock? Aye. Hernandez? Aye. Hertzberg? Aye. Hill? Aye. Wisso? Aye. Huff? No. Jackson? Aye. Lara?
Aye.
Aye. Leno? Aye. Leyva? Aye. Liu? Aye. McGuire? Aye. Mendoza? Aye. Mitchell? Aye. Monning? Aye. Morlock? No. Morrell? No. Wynn? No. Nielsen? No. Pan? Aye. Pavley? Aye. Roth? Aye. Runner? No. Stone? No. Vidak? No. Wykowski? Aye. Wolk? Aye.
Call the absent members.
Berryhill? Fuller? No. Gaines? Aye. Galgiani?
Ayes 27, noes 11. That measure passes. Members, we're back on file here, file item 33. Senator Westall, are you prepared to take up this item? Secretary, please read.
Senate Bill 273 by Senator Hueso, an act relating to state real property, making an appropriation therefore and declaring the urge thereof to take effect immediately.
Senator Hueso.
Thank you, Mr. President. Senators, SB 273 is the annual surplus property bill that is sponsored by the Department of General Services to dispose of the state's surplus property. These properties have been deemed to no longer meet the programmatic needs of the state and have resulted in added costs and potential liabilities. The proceeds resulting from the sale of these properties will be directed into the Rainy Day Fund. I respectfully ask for your aye vote for this important measure.
Thank you, Senator Hueso. Any debate or discussion on this item? Any debate or discussion? Seeing and hearing none, is there any objection to substituting a unanimous roll call? Seeing and hearing none, ayes 39, no 0 on the urgency, ayes 39, no 0 on the measure. The measure passes. File item 34, Senator Hueso. Mr. Secretary, please read.
Senate Bill 385 by Senator Hueso, an act relating to drinking water and declaring the urge thereof to take effect immediately.
Senator Hueso.
Thank you once again, Madam President. SB 385 is a product of negotiations with the State Water Board, the environmental community, and local water agencies to create a path for the expeditious compliance toward the state's drinking water standard for chromium-6. Data used for the development of the standard indicated that drinking water in at least 25 counties throughout the state have been impacted by chromium-6. Currently, it is infeasible to require that all water systems currently out of compliance automatically treat their chromium-6 without first having to design treatment systems, obtain financing, and construct the treatment systems, which are capital improvements that require lots of capital. So under this measure, the public water systems would be authorized to submit a compliance plan to the State Water Resources Control Board, and the plan would describe the steps the system is taking and will take generally to achieve the standard by the earliest feasible date. I ask for your support for this measure.
Thank you. Debate or discussion? Senator Stone.
Thank you, Madam President. I rise as a co-author and commend my friend and colleague from Imperial County to support this very important extension. We have water districts in the Coachella Valley that are impacted by this, that are looking at a roughly $50 million fix, which of course will get passed on to the ratepayers. This gives them time to plan a way to treat the water to ensure that it is clean and safe for them. So I urge and I vote here today.
Thank you, Senator Stone. Any further debate or discussion? Senator Nielsen.
The concept here of allowing the opportunity for remedy is very important, and it's important in this bill, but I'm bringing this up because we're likely to be getting a budget trailer bill here as our budget moves along that will not allow the due process that we are now according here. A due process and the opportunity of a landowner, an individual, a homeowner, to make a remedy. So be careful. You'll hear me raising this in a future trailer bill, but what applies as good here will be good there too. And we'll have to have it amended, I think, but I just wanted to forewarn you.
Thank you, Senator Nielsen. Any further debate or discussion? Seeing and hearing none, Senator Hueso, you may close.
Madam Chair, simply working with the stakeholders in our community, we have achieved a solution, a practical solution to a complex problem. I urge and I vote for this measure.
Thank you, Senator Hueso. All debate having ceased, is there any objection to substituting a unanimous roll call? Seeing and hearing none, ayes 39 on the urgency, ayes 39 on the measure. The measure passes. File item 35, Senator Allen.